Hello, Merry Christmas, and welcome to On the Break. I'm here with Mike. We both got our Santa hats. We're ready for some holiday fun, but we got football to get through first, okay? But first off, Mike, as always, how you doing today on this
I'm
right
doing
next to
good,
Christmas?
Recruit. It's the holiday season. We got a lot of football coming this weekend, so I can't be more excited. How about you?
I'm feeling the same way. We got some Friday football, Friday, midday football. A lot of people are going to be having their Christmas dinners, and they're going to have some football to watch while they're at it. We'll see what happens there. But I mean, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We're ready for it, and let's get into some football. I mentioned this Vikings Saints game, and the Vikings currently with a 1.3% chance of making the playoffs. It's pretty high, I'll tell you that. And the Saints looking to kind of, maybe get that 2 seed, maybe even the 1 seed, depending on what happens with Green Bay. But that loss to Kansas City is kind of hurting them pretty bad right now. But I really don't see the Vikings having a shot in this game. We have the Minneapolis Miracle that happened a while ago with Stephon Diggs in the playoffs, but these are two very different teams from that day. So, Mike, what do you think about this game? I think the Saints get this pretty easy on Christmas Day.
Yeah, with these two teams, Recruit is night and day. The 1.3% chances for the Vikings to make the playoffs are about to go down to zero
Yep.
after this game because the Saints, I will with Drew Brees coming back too, a much more reliable option to Taysom Hill. I think Kirk Cousins is going to struggle against the Saints defense. The Saints defense is still very, very good. It's probably one of the biggest reasons why they are in playoff contention or in chance to get the number one overall and number one seed in the playoffs. So honestly, I think the Saints get this win
Yeah, it's
easy.
pretty solid. The Saints are going to win this game, unless if Dalvin Cook has some kind of Jesus type performance. But again, I doubt it. And that's the only game we got on Christmas Day, unfortunately. The rest of the games, there's 3 games on Saturday. Saturday at 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8:15 Eastern is going to be a time on Saturday, especially with maybe some college football in there. But the first game at 1 o'clock will be the Buccaneers against the Lions. This is a really weird game. The Lions have had very teeter-tottery performances, as they do every single year. But the Bucks coming off a comeback win against the Falcons. Tom Brady came back against the Falcons again. What else is new? But this is another one of those games where you think it's pretty easy to predict. There's not a lot of there are a few tight games. This is probably not going to be one of them, unless if you think Matthew Stafford's got some upset city. And I got Buccaneers here. What do you got?
I got Buccaneers too. I mean, just the Buccaneers, just overall, when you compare the two rosters, this is just a better overall team than the Lions. Matt Stafford, freaking stud, but I don't know if he's going to pull some miracle on 34th Street in Detroit today, the day after Christmas. I don't know if that can happen, especially against a Bucks team like this trying to vie for the playoffs. I think Tom Brady, it is he's trying to win the division. He's trying to at least make a wild card at this point, considering the powerhouse of the Saints in the NFC South.
Yeah.
And I think Tom Brady is going to be clutch as always. I think he's going to march his team towards the playoffs, and I think the Lions are going to be one of those fatalities on the road.
Yeah, then the Lions would fall to about 5-10 at that point. Their season, another year of being not good enough to get a high draft pick, or not bad enough to get a high draft pick, but also good enough to, not bad enough to
Yeah,
get
definitely.
like
This Lions
Trevor
team's
Lawrence.
improved good compared to last season, but I mean, just a lot with Matt Patricia finally be gone. There's a silver lining in Detroit now. You can definitely get a better coach now. There's a lot of coaching options open after this offseason. So the Lions have a decent future. It just depends on which direction they take at this point, you know?
Yeah, and hopefully they change their franchise. I do always like watching them in Ford Field, but that NFC North is going to be packed, and hopefully the
Of
Lions can get
course, yeah.
back in their competition over there. They won the division a few years ago, so hopefully they can do it again. The next game is on Prime Video. Like how one of the playoff games is going to be streamed on Nickelodeon. We have another game on Prime Video. The 49ers and the Cardinals, big NFC West battle in terms of, when you talk about Seattle, when you talk about the Rams and, now the Cardinals, the Niners are out of it for sure. But the Cardinals, are really, they're not worried about the division at this point. They're more worried about that, it's very slim that they can win this division. They are thinking about that wild card spot that they've been holding on to. They've been on a bit of a winning streak. They've played your Eagles against Jalen Hurts. Sure, you don't want to talk about that one, but then you have the Giants. They also beat now. They play their division rival, the 49ers. Kyler has been on an absolute tear these past few games. This whole season, he's having a great year. I love the way he's been playing football. And I think this is another, not too difficult opponent that he's going to be able to make quick work of. And if you have Kyler in fantasy, I would pick this man up, and I would. Or you're not gonna be able to pick him up at this point, but I would
To
start him
pick him up,
for sure.
he's rostered
Yeah.
on over like 98% of the teams. What are you
Well, if you're
talking
doing
about?
some doing one of those things where you have to like buy players every week or whatever, I would buy Kyler against the 49ers. I'll
Oh, yeah,
say that.
most definitely. This 49ers defense is not what it was last year. And the 49ers just got eliminated from the playoffs. So what else do they got to lose, you know? So, but the Cardinals don't have anything to lose. They got to fight for this wild card. They got a lot of contenders coming for this wild card. And and Kyler Murray's having a breakout year
Yeah.
compared to last year. He's doing very well. He's getting together under Kingsbury's system. I like where the Cardinals is going as a team. The only thing I think will be their kryptonite going to the playoffs is their defense. Their defense is very
Yeah.
average. Like it's very hot and cold. Like even against the Eagles last week, they allowed Jalen Hurts to go over 350 total yards, and that is
Yeah.
against a rookie
Defenses.
quarterback. That is ridiculous. And if you're going to be playing like that in the playoffs, you're not going to be there for long. You're going to get knocked down in the first round, easy peasy.
Yeah.
So
Defense is
I
big.
think the Cardinals do take this win. I think it's going to be a close one. There'll be no two. The Niners have nothing to lose, so they're going to do everything they can to knock out the divisional rival out of their wild
Yeah.
card spot. But I think the Cardinals win a close one here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot closer than people think, maybe. I think maybe it'll be within a score, but we'll see what happens. It
I
could be
think
a
so
30
too.
point
Yeah,
blowout, too.
take a look. It'll be a fun game.
It's definitely going to be a fun game. If you got Prime Video, it'll be a fun game. It's really weird how it's on that. But the Saturday night football is on television, like the rest of the games. And you have the Dolphins and the Raiders. The Raiders still fighting a bit. They're pretty much done now. But a win against the Dolphins would be very key. And maybe, just maybe, finding a way back into the playoffs. And it's Miami on the road in Vegas, I believe. And I still do not see a way that Miami is going to lose this game. Derrick, who knows if Derek Carr is even going to play at this point? He's been having his injury problems. Marcus Mariota isn't bad. He's been, holding down the ship in that game against the Chargers, but they still ended up taking the L, I believe. But the Raiders are a weird team. Their defense has been very suspect. Their offense has been pretty fine with Derek Carr. And, your boy Nelson Aguilar, we love to mention him on this show all the time, but he's not enough to put the Raiders past this Miami Dolphins team who's had such a great defense so far this season. They are looking to secure themselves a spot in the playoffs, especially with Cleveland winning so much now and Baltimore creeping up right behind them. Do you think that Miami really gets this win, or do you think the Raiders have just a little bit more of an upset left in them? Your mic is muted.
Oops.
There you
I
go.
think this,
You're fixing it.
I think this is going to be Marcus Mariota's biggest test this season. This is a difference too. Last week they played the Chargers defense. That's the Chargers.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at more of a top 10 like defense in the Dolphins. This is gonna be the end of Marcus Mariota's revival 3 game stretch. I think the Raiders lose this one. They're pretty much over. It's not really that the Raiders offense is not enough. They got Darren Waller, who's playing like a top 2 tight end right now.
Yeah.
Been fantastic balling out this year. You got the
Hey.
homie Nelson Aguilar balling out. Never expected that, and didn't see that coming. I see his extension coming for him in Las Vegas. You got weapons all around you, and you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield. It's just that what's not enough is this defense. This defense is not suspect. It's trash.
Yeah.
It's not a good defense. It's young, but they're just going in the wrong direction right now. They're giving up big plays all over the field. And this offense, like you can't expect an offense just to constantly catch up and just after when your defense is giving up a touchdown in every drive. That's just not how today's football works, you know? I mean, the Raiders offense is not a top 10 offense by all means, but I could say it's a top 12. You could
Yeah,
say
it's up
that.
there. It's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. It's an above average offense, but this defense is below average, bottom 5 in the league. This defense is no bueno at all.
Not at all.
So I don't think the Raiders. I don't think it's their year. Maybe next year, but I think the Dolphins. They're on a good path to the wild card, and I think the Dolphins overtake the Raiders in this game.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be much of a shot for the Raiders. Although I'm looking at ESPN right now, they predict a Raider victory because they're at home. I don't see where they get that from, but we'll see if we're wrong. We'll see if we're right. It's a big win for either team. Moving on to Sunday, the Cleveland Browns play the Jets. The Jets are not winless anymore. They beat the Rams of all teams. Yes, the Los Angeles Rams lost to the New York Jets. I still can't believe that. I'm just shocked
I have
beyond
no idea how
belief
that happened.
of that game. And I feel like we know, okay, even though they beat the Rams, they're not, lightning does not strike at the same place twice. Okay. The Jets are not going to win another game this season, but they will still lose the number one pick.
Of course not. They're not going to win another game. Honestly, I think last week's was an L because they just missed out on Trevor Lawrence. Now they
Yep.
just lost control of their fate. So, yikes! Might have to settle for Justin Fields at this point.
They'll probably go for Penny Sewell. They'll get some line help, but if they want to get Justin Fields, they can also get Justin Fields. But
That's true.
even if, I mean, we've talked about this on the show plenty of times, I would have traded the number one pick if they got it. But now it doesn't matter. The Jaguars can take Trevor Lawrence and get a stud quarterback, and they actually have this thing called the football team around him somewhat. The defense, they just have to actually re-sign their players when they get good players. That would be very nice if they could. But the Jaguars can, maybe get some offensive line help, get Trevor Lawrence good. Unless if Trevor even says to them, I don't want to play for you, and he goes to some other team. But that's going to be something we'll end up talking about when the draft comes around, when all this is finalized. Anyway, moving on. We have an actual great football game coming up. It's going to be a nice, slow 1 o'clocker. The Steelers have played a lot of great games, but they just are at 1 o'clock for some reason. I don't understand why, but the NFL is the NFL, and they'll keep scheduling the games the way that they schedule. The Colts and the Steelers. This is probably the better game of the matchup. We have the Steelers are now 11-3. A few weeks ago, we were talking about this team going 16-0, and we believe they were frauds. Now look at this team. They've proven that they are not one of those elite top 5 football teams in this league. A lot of teams are better than them that you might not have thought are better than them when they're 11-0. The Bills are better. The Colts are better. A lot of teams are better. The Browns have been better, and they might have a shot to win this division at the end of the year, depending on the result of this game for sure. The Colts, on the other hand, have had quite the season. They've beaten teams. They've beaten the Titans, so have the Steelers, but barely. But the Colts at 10-4 have been playing well. They've had a lot of close games. They had a close game against the Texans, 2 of them to be in fact. But they've just looked, if you go by eye test, they look so much better. And you know what the Colts don't do that the Steelers do? The Colts don't dance on the other team's logo before the game and then proceed to get blown out. Okay, Juju Smith-Schuster has stirred up a lot of I don't even know the word to put it, but a lot of antagonization, big words out here, over him dancing on another team's logo. He danced on the Bengals logo, the Jaguars logo, the Bills logo. He lost against the Bills, and he just lost against the Bengals. Apparently, Mike Tomlin's going to have a chat with him, he said. And maybe it'll stop. It's at home. If Juju, I wouldn't be surprised if Juju dances on his own logo. Maybe they reverse the Juju to say. I know you like that one. But do you think that the Steelers will win this game? Do you think the Colts will win this game? I mean, you know the drill. I think the Steelers are going to absolutely get destroyed. I think it's going to be a 14-point loss, and the Steelers are going to put up less than 17, I'll say. Probably be 21-14 to me. But what do you have in this game? What do you got?
Well, before I start, McCroot, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, Juju Smith better stop messing up the Steelers' juju by jujuing on that beat all over opponents' logos because it's not equating to any W's. They on a 3-game losing streak, and they just lost one to literally a bottom 5 team in the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, no playoff team does that, especially when you're at that time when you were 11-2. You do not drop a team to 4th place in your division. That's just
3 losses in a row. You can't do that.
This is unacceptable, and this team is showing that they're respectable. They're not elite. They're not as good as people think they are.
Yeah.
They're a poser. At this point, they're honestly not even a top 5. I don't even want to say they're a top 10 team. Maybe a top 12, I would say, but not a top 10 at all. Especially with the way they have been playing. Big Ben was god awful in the first half. I don't know if anybody's seen the game. Big Ben was, my goodness, missing throws, threw an awful interception.
Yeah.
And this defense is just not the backbone anymore. They're really just falling apart. This secondary is, as said at the beginning of the season, I think they were the weakness of this defense, and they are. They've been giving up a lot of plays. and they're going to go against a real playoff team. This is honestly a playoff preview of the Steelers, how they will fare in a playoff game. Because the Colts are a playoff team, and I really like Frank Reich and what he's doing with that team. The Colts have been firing on all cylinders, and if the Steelers can't at least keep this game within like a 3 or 7 points, a 7 point deficit, I mean, it's just I don't know if the Steelers. If this is going to be how the Steelers fare in the playoffs. I think the Colts win a not really a close one. I think they win pretty decisively in this game.
Yeah. Either way, we have the Colts winning, and with the Browns probably beating the Jets. We'll see what happens now. I don't even know.
The Browns should be able to beat the Jets. I swear to God.
And then they would have the same record. And then Week 17 would be Browns Steelers. That would be for the AFC North. So that's going to be a fun one.
Don't even get me started on Baker Mayfield.
You know what? I won't. Okay, we'll worry about that when the time comes and when the results of the games are done.
I don't want to eat my words just yet, Makuch. I don't want to eat my words just yet.
Well, I'll wait on him.
The cycle right now is like at a pause right now. The cycle's
very broken. It's been very broken the past 3 weeks.
It's at a pause. Just wait. Just wait.
It's been on like a 4-week pause. We'll see if it goes to 6.
Just wait till we get to the playoffs. We'll see about how your homie Baker Mayfield does in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When he's under the lights.
Too many lights. Under the lights, we'll see if he performs. But we know one guy who does perform under all the lights, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I don't think there is no quarterback in this league better than Patrick Mahomes, in talent-wise at least. He plays the Falcons. He's going to win. The Chiefs will only have 1 loss for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think we could just easily say that's a W. The Chiefs blow out the Falcons like no other. So the Falcons, I don't see really any reason maybe the Falcons could get a lead at halftime and then blow it at the end. Who knows at this point? They've done it so many times this year that like it's just become habit for these Falcon fans, and I feel really sorry for them because they shouldn't be accustomed to this mediocrity that the Atlanta Falcons have bestowed upon the city. So I think
entire state too. Their entire state of sports teams has this exact same problem.
Yeah,
the Atlanta Braves do it. Everyone does it. And, they used to have a hockey team, but they even blew having a hockey team with the Atlanta Thrashers, if you remember them. Anyway, moving on from them, they don't deserve any more time, the Falcons, but I love you, Patrick Mahomes. You're a great quarterback, and I think you're still going to win this MVP award, like I said at the beginning of the
He's going to win the MVP.
Yeah. Go back to the first video we did. I said he was going to win MVP. Anyway, the Bears and the Jaguars, do you even want to mention this god-awful football game? I think the Bears are going to win. It's not good. Don't watch this game. Please don't watch it. If you have time.
If you have anything better to do, like maybe families coming over. Sometimes people want to escape family because family can be weird. Like your uncle that always brings up politics at Christmas dinner. You don't want to be there. How about you go to the couch? If you see the Bears and the Jaguars on the TV, move to a different channel because this game will literally bore the hell out of you, and you will want to get in your car and drive away to maybe to a local parking lot where you could just sit there until your relatives leave the house.
I would rather watch paint dry than watch this football game.
Honestly, this is going to be a very low-scoring game. Maybe, who knows if they run the ball, but yeah, this is pretty much the lowest of the low. This is literally like a third-rate game, and I really hope to God it's not broadcasted in my area because if it is, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm not watching football that day. I'll wait until the later games if that happens.
I'd rather wait. Yeah. Or I'd rather babysit my younger relatives that come over, and that is painful.
Especially when on Sunday. That's gonna be way after Christmas.
Spanish family, these relatives are crazy. Let me tell you.
Amen. It's also crazy that this game will be broadcast on national television at some point to someone somewhere.
Yeah, but if you want to book it, Bears get a W. Easy.
Yeah, sure.
But
Mr. Trubisky throws for 2 touchdowns.
Does it really affect their outcome? No. So.
Mitchell Trubisky throws for 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. They still win the game. The Giants and the Ravens. Again, I think this is the Giants, do they have a shot? I don't know. I think the Ravens still win. Yeah, no. I'm not a Giants fan.
If Daniel Jones plays, there is literally zero chance they're going to win because Daniel Jones will probably turn over the ball 3 times before the third quarter is over, or even before halftime.
Are they better with Colt McCoy or Daniel Jones?
At this point, I think it's kind of a similar situation because Daniel Jones has been very streaky. Honestly, I wouldn't really say that, where he's been very turnover prone.
Yeah.
It's like what the Philly done to Carson Wentz. They realized that the coach and the quarterback are not on the same page. The offense and the quarterback are not on the same page. Try something new. So Colt McCoy's doing okay, I guess. He's doing all
Yeah.
right. Not really blowing my
They
socks
play
off.
different football. They
But
play more
also,
running football.
this is a Ravens team that is fighting to stay alive in this playoff race.
Yeah.
The Ravens should definitely be able to win this. If not, then they absolutely do not deserve to make the playoffs.
No.
Honestly, at this point, I do not pick them to make the playoffs.
Okay.
But if they lose this game, I'm just gonna be like, you guys do not deserve to be in a playoff game. If you lose to Colt McCoy and the New York Giants, I swear to God, if they lose this game, I will be laughing so hard. And I'm coming for you, Lamar Jackson, if you blow this game.
Oh, I know you are. You are going to be on this man's case if it is his fault.
I will be on your case. But hey, kudos. Lamar, after your little bathroom incident, good job coming back to beat the Browns.
Yeah, great job. We're proud of Lamar. We love Lamar.
Good job. Good job. You made a couple good throws that game. I was kind of impressed.
He's been inconsistent. He's had a lot of good moments, a lot of bad moments, and we'll see if he can,
Yeah,
bring
but
it all together.
So far though, in this like 2-game stretch, he's not been playing bad.
Yeah.
Against the Browns was probably his best game of the season, even though he didn't throw for a lot. He made some clutch throws when we had to.
Yeah.
So, got to give credit when it's due.
Got to give credit. Now, another game that if it is on your television and if it is broadcast in your local area, please do something else with your time. The Bengals and the Texans, 10-1 versus 4-10. I don't even want to talk about this one.
Like every time I think of the Texans, McCooch, I just feel bad for Deshaun Watson, and
Yes.
I kind of am upset at him because he literally cost me to go to the championship final in my fantasy league. Because if I started Jalen Hurts, I would have been in the championship. And guess how many points I lost by?
3. Oh,
less than 3 points. Less than 3 points I lost to. And all because of Deontay Johnson. But that's besides the point. At least I can go for third place at this point.
Yeah.
But
maybe get your money back. Who knows?
Yeah. The Texans should be able to win this game. Ryan Finley, the guy is always smiling. He's probably going to be frowning after this loss. So I don't think the Bengals win. The Bengals defense. It's a battle of the two really awful defenses, just not defenses that have not shown up this whole season. Bengals defense is kind of worse, in my opinion. The Texans have been kind of trying to get back on their feet on defense. So, but it's Deshaun Watson. Come on. Deshaun Watson this game. I think it'll be a little bit closer than people think it is, but I think the Texans come out with a win.
Yeah, I mean, you tried comparing these two defenses. It's like comparing horse crap to dog crap. It's all the same. It's not worth making the comparison. But, oh well. This game will happen. It'll exist. Another game that I don't want to watch. Really quickly, Chargers Broncos. They had a thriller last time. They're both 5-9, but I don't think it happens again. I think Justin Herbert takes down Drew Lock, and but maybe Anthony Lynn will mismanage the clock somehow.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers finally finished strong in the game. They beat the Raiders.
Even that was in overtime.
Pretty strong finish. Herbert's having a huge rookie season, and I think he continues it against the Broncos. I think he beats the Broncos pretty soundly this time. Not as close.
Yeah. Not as close. It's going to be a much better game for the Chargers, I'll say. Anyway, the Panthers against Washington. It's a huge game in the NFC East, I'll say. It will give Philly a chance, if they lose this game to Carolina, to win that division maybe, and especially if the Giants aren't able to win against the Ravens. So, do you think the Panthers have a chance to make some noise in the NFC East?
Yes, I think they do. Washington should be able to win this game, but the thing is that Alex Smith has been injured. Dwayne Haskins might be back in.
Yeah.
I don't trust him, especially after he spent this weekend at the strip club. I don't know if he's prepared enough at this point.
He might not start.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, especially with the COVID-19 protocols, like the investigation's pending. We don't know what's going to happen. At this point, with Alex Smith injured, I don't know if he's going to come back or not. Who's going to start for this Washington football team? Case Keenum? He hasn't taken a snap in a while. So
Case Keenum's in Cleveland.
Oh, whoa, my bad. Whoa.
Kyle Allen's done. There's no quarterback.
Yeah, he's gone. So
either way, it's irrelevant. It's really irrelevant whether it's Case Keenum, whether it's Alex Smith, whether it's Dwayne Haskins.
Washington should be able to pull this away especially with their defense alone. But the Panthers, if Washington has no clear-cut starter for at quarterback come Sunday, the Panthers should have a chance to win this game because there's only so much a defense can do.
Yeah.
When the offense is doing little to nothing. So the Panthers should have a chance, but I don't know if I trust them. I think Washington has a great defense, and I think they come out with a win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers could come away with a close victory.
For sure, for sure. I think the Panthers definitely have a shot. It would be great for the NFC East if the Panthers win this game. It will make it a lot more fun.
It'd be great
Now,
for my Eagles. Like, Jesus, at this point, we need all
yeah,
the help we can get.
you needed something. But for the Eagles to even have a shot at this division, you need to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and I know you're going to say that's going to be a very easy thing to do. Jalen Hurts getting his first start against the Dallas Cowboys, your hated rival. I'm not even an NFC East fan. I don't like them either, but you have the floor as you always do when it's the Eagles. So let's see what you got.
I'll keep this short and sweet
Okay,
if I can try. But
go for it.
Jalen Hurts, he's pretty much impressed me. And Doug Peterson, where the hell was his coaching this whole season? Rollouts, play action, something called running the football. I haven't seen that in a while. Wow, finally.
It's working.
So it's working. They're finally running the football instead of getting their quarterback to toss 50 pass attempts a game, which is absolutely ridiculous. You become so one-dimensional that way. But I think with the Eagles, they always do well at the last stretch of the season. They
Yeah,
had a close game against Arizona. Last time the Cowboys faced Arizona with Dalton under center, they got blown the hell out.
murdered.
This Cowboys defense is still not good at all. But I think this time, I think the Eagles, for the first time in a while, are able to have a chance to sweep the Cowboys in the season in the regular season.
Yeah,
I think they come out with a win, but yeah, just I don't trust Andy Dalton, especially when the Cowboys are trying to make the playoffs, even though I really don't think they will.
no, not sure.
So yeah, I think Jalen Hurts has been pretty impressive. He's been managing the ball pretty well. He's been moving the pocket. He's been just making the passes that he's supposed to.
Yeah,
He has maybe one or two great throws that are just or plays that are just like amazing. He's obviously more agile than Wentz, so he's able to move out of the pocket much more poise and easiness.
opens up the field.
Yeah, so can't complain. I mean, if Hurts pulls out a win against the Cowboys, just as more respect towards number 2 and our second overall, our round draft pick. So
Exactly. Real quickly, next season, will Jalen Hurts be the starter or Carson Wentz?
I have no idea. That's a whole nother video I could talk
Yeah.
about.
Oh yeah, we'll do that at the end of the season.
Apparently, sources were saying that Wentz is not pleased. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be pleased, especially when you were MVP candidate literally 2 or 3 seasons ago, and you were
Yeah.
playing well for the past 3 seasons, and you broke the Eagles' single season passing yard record just last season. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a backup. I would be like, hey, I'm worth more than this. I had one bad season, even though I didn't have a lot of great weapons around us.
Yeah.
I
Coach
still
wasn't helping me
I
out.
still didn't play up to expectations, which Wentz didn't. He didn't play up to expectations, and there were some games that were completely on him. But something, as like the Los Angeles Rams game, that was completely on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just that I wouldn't want to be a backup, especially when you're getting paid that much money. You're not going to be paid 130 million just to sit on your ass on the bench the entire season.
Right.
That's just not how things work in the NFL, you know. And I
It's
still
not.
think Wentz is an extremely talented quarterback. Cannon arm, can scramble.
At his best, he's a top 10 quarterback.
Sorry,
At his best, he's a top 10 quarterback.
top 5
Top 5.
in my book.
I mean, fair. Yeah, in terms of just.
I will put him. I will put him around. Like I used to like to compare Watson and him a lot because
Yeah,
they both.
yeah, that's popular.
Their playing styles could be somewhat similar at times. They could be very streaky quarterbacks. They're very gutsy. They play with a lot of cojones in football games. They're clutch quarterbacks. I really like both of them. You know.
I like them a lot too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. In the off season, we will definitely have debate videos about that. I will be so happy to talk about that.
Very, very in. I'm very in on that. Real quickly, I'll just mention Monday night really quickly. The Bills and Patriots. Bills are going to win the game. Do you think the Bills are going to win the game?
Obviously, I mean Cam Newton is just trash. So
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills defense is great. I've always loved the Bills defense. Josh Allen is amazing so far. Stephon Diggs is playing like a top 5 receiver right now, as he has for the past few weeks.
Of course.
This Bills team is just cruise controlling their way into the playoffs, and maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say a first bye, but maybe they can get the 2nd seed at this point or 3rd seed. That's probably
only the first seed gets the bye week this time around. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that, but it's the way.
I think Bills finished 2nd seed, but I think they're probably the only team right now to compete with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I agree with that. In terms of playoff game, I think that's going to be the AFC Championship, and I think
that's gonna be. I will be tuning in. That will be such a fun game
oh
to
yeah,
watch.
that's perfect. I still think the Chiefs are going to win by 14, but it's good competition. Anyway, speaking of playoffs, these last two games have big playoff implications in terms of more seeding, really. The Rams and the Seahawks, you have. The Rams coming off a fresh loss to the New Jersey Jets. The New York Jets won against the Rams. This would be 10-4 versus 10-4. Now it's 9-5 versus 10-4. The Rams are kind of blew the division here, especially if they don't win against Seattle. I think the Seahawks are going to handle the Rams pretty well. Especially, I mean, maybe they'll come back with a vengeance after losing to the worst team in football. But do you see the Rams really making any noise here? Do the Rams come back with a vengeance, or do they still fall flat again?
This is a tougher game.
Yeah.
They could rebound. I think this will be an extremely close game. This is
Okay.
going to be a very fun game to watch, honestly.
Yes.
But I still trust in Russell Wilson. I think if he didn't have those weeks where he turned over the ball so much, he would have been an MVP candidate or probably even won MVP. But
Yeah.
the homie Russell Wilson, I mean, I can't pick against him, especially in a game like this. He's a very clutch quarterback.
Hmm.
He's mobile. He can run all over this Rams defense, and this Rams defense coming off a very demoralizing loss to the New York Jets. So I don't know. The Seahawks blew out the Jets. The Rams didn't. But at this point in the season, I think the Rams just settle for a wild card at this point. I don't think I think the Seahawks are going to come away with the division this year.
Yeah. If I mean, then the Cardinals Rams game at the end of the season might be for a playoff spot. Really, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these last 2 weeks. Really, but yeah, when the chips are down, Russell Wilson always comes through, and this is a big playoff game for his division. Russell Wilson's going to come through. Russell Wilson's going to find a way to win this game. I think we're going to get some Russell Wilson magic in this game for sure, and they're going to come out with the win. Another guy goes by the name of Aaron Rodgers. He is very, very much an expert in that whole quarterback magic department. Done it a lot of times with Hail Marys, and he takes on the Tennessee Titans in what has the possibility, but the very unlikeliness of being a Super Bowl matchup. But some people will predict it because why not? Aaron Rodgers and the Packers looking at that number one seed in the NFC, especially if they come out with this win. Very much a good chance to get it. And the Titans still fighting for the division with Indianapolis. This is a very good chance for either of those teams because they're both playing great teams. Both teams can very much lose this week in the AFC South. The Colts beat the Steelers and the Titans lose, and the Colts go up in the division. They'll get the 4 seed. This is basically the 4 and the 5 seed they're going to switch out for. They'll end up playing whoever the last seed. No, they would play. I think the 5 seed. It's going to be weird. Yeah, so they're just vying to see who gets home field against each other. It's going to be fun to watch. But
Yeah.
the Packers and the Titans, I think the Packers are going to come through with the win. I think the Colts will take the AFC South, and they'll get that 4 spot. Packers are playing very well. Derrick Henry, though. Derrick Henry's going to have a massive game because that Packers run defense is
Hell,
awful.
he's gonna have a huge game.
If they're, you know what, I'm going to say something. He is going to break the single game rushing yards record this game. Put
I
it in the
wouldn't
books.
say that.
I lose nothing by predicting that.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but I think the Packers have met their match at this point because they are the number one plan for the Titans in this game. Run that football against this Packers run defense. Packers run defense is gonna have their hand. This whole defense in general is gonna have their hands full against Derrick Henry. This man is a freaking train. He's a beast.
You're going to be forced to run.
Yeah, I think maybe he can hit 200.
Yeah, he's going to have over 200 yards. I think he's going to ball out.
Yeah,
I would hate to see him break the single game rushing record because it's Adrian Peterson, but if he can hit 300 yards, it's very possible this game.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very close game. This probably be maybe one of the funnest games of the week to watch.
Yeah.
But
Sunday Night Football.
This is gonna be a tough pick for me.
Okay.
I think the Packers win of shootout in this
it's
game.
gonna be a shootout for sure.
I think the Packers win. The Titans have all they have all the weapons they need to have AJ Brown, who's my boy right there. Love AJ Brown.
A monster.
Corey Davis, Ryan Tannehill is still capable of flinging that ball around, especially with those weapons at his hand.
Yeah.
And also if he needs to hand off the ball to Derrick Henry, probably 10 yards apiece against this Packers run defense.
He's going to the
But
fourth.
again, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams has been a deadly combo. It's probably the deadliest combo I've seen all season.
Oh, yeah.
Like once the ball is in Devontae Adams' hands,
He goes.
you can't do anything about it. Devontae Adams is a freaking nightmare.
He's the best route runner in all football.
Exactly.
I mean, he is just. If I would study one receiver of how to play the game at the receiver position, and you're a young receiver in college, high school, study Devontae Adams, because he doesn't have to use the Julio Jones freakish athleticism or the Tyreek Hill freakish speed. He's Devontae Adams.
DK Metcalf too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Devontae Adams is just the most skilled receiver in all of football. And that's
Yeah,
why I love watching him so much.
he's an absolute stud. But I just think the Titans are gonna have their hands full, especially with Rodgers tossing the football in the air. I think that they're gonna have I think they're gonna be at a mismatch at a disadvantage against the Packers passing offense, and I think the Packers win a very close one.
Yeah,
I would say maybe like a 38-35 win.
Yeah, that's fair. It's going to be in the 30s for sure. Unless
it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. I can tell you that.
And it's Sunday night football. Great thing to go to bed to. Great times, always. And it's always a great time doing this show with you. Unless if you have anything else to add, we can call it a day.
Yeah, I'm good, Makuch. Looking forward to this this weekend full of football.
Yeah, a lot of terrible games, but there's a lot of great games to make up for it.
Exactly, definitely.
And I'm ready to watch it on Sunday. Everybody, Merry Christmas. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Whatever family you're able to see, if you are at all, have fun, stay safe, have a Merry Christmas. I am John, signing off for Mike. This is On the Break. And everybody, Merry Christmas. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching.